Now, on that note, let's bring in Australia's former ambassador to Lebanon, Ian Parmeter. Ian, good to see you this morning. Now, the reason why that is so significant when they're saying things could happen in a spur of the moment, because I remember back in 2006, one of the first things that was hit was the Lebanese airport, the runway, so planes couldn't take off and planes couldn't land. So essentially, folks who wanted to leave became stuck. So it's an important warning, is it not?
Exactly. And certainly the Australian government warning should be heeded. The situation is very serious, very dangerous. Israel has promised to retaliate for the strike on the village of Majd al-Shams in the Golan. And Hezbollah will inevitably react against any Israeli retaliation. But at the same time, I think both sides will probably want to keep some limit on the retaliation. Israel would be the Israeli government would be being advised by its military that it is not a good idea to start a war on another front, particularly if the risk of war in Lebanon spiraling out of control and becoming Israel's main war occurs, because Israel simply doesn't have the manpower. It would have to call up far more reservists than it currently has. So it's a situation where I think they will hit infrastructure, but I don't think we'll see a major Israeli ground invasion of Lebanon.
Okay. I mean, so given your experience and your knowledge of the area, you don't think there will be a war like there was in 2006?
I don't think so. I think both sides learned from that war. It was quite a shock to Israel because they really didn't think when they went in 2006 that Hezbollah would be able to blunt the Israeli attack in the way they did. And what I've just been reading in the last couple of days is that Hezbollah itself has been digging its own tunnels. Of course, Hamas has a great organization for developing tunnels. But that means that in Lebanon, Hezbollah is able to come up on the flanks and behind Israeli troops when they invade. So it would be a very risky operation. Almost certainly there'd be significant Israeli casualties if they were to take it on. So my feeling is that Israel will do some serious damage to Lebanese infrastructure, quite probably taking out the airport. Which is, of course, why the Australian government's warned Australians to leave. But I don't think Israel is going to want to get involved in a major war on two fronts.
Okay. Ian, we'll leave it there, but appreciate your time this morning. Thank you. And, of course, we'll see how that progresses.